I know how this is going to sound, but listen carefully. Right now, on my screen, there's a Discord server glowing at the top of my list. A server that shouldn't exist anymore. I watched it vanish months ago, deleted, wiped, buried in the digital void. Yet tonight, it's back, as if nothing ever happened. At first, I thought it was a glitch. You've probably had that moment, an old notification popping up out of nowhere, some phantom ping you swear you cleared. But this wasn't that. The server icon flickered, the same blurred symbol I remembered, and the name, just a string of characters, sat there waiting. I hovered over it, pulse racing. My hand felt like it weighed 100 pounds as I moved the cursor closer. A part of me screamed not to click, not to wake whatever was sleeping inside. But curiosity has a way of eating through common sense. The second I clicked, the screen lit up with a chilling familiarity. The chat was alive. A cursor blinked. And then someone was typing back. I shouldn't even be telling you this. Some things don't want to be remembered, but maybe I should start at the beginning. It started on one of those nights where sleep just isn't an option. You know the kind, where your body's exhausted but your brain keeps buzzing, chewing on absolutely nothing of importance. My desk lamp cast this weak yellow glow across the room, and I sat slumped in my chair, aimlessly scrolling through Discord like I had a reason to be awake. It's a weird comfort, isn't it? Clicking through old servers, reading dead channels like digital graveyards. Half of them were groups I hadn't talked in for years, school friends, gaming buddies, projects that fell apart before they began. I'd scroll, sigh, maybe laugh at an ancient inside joke buried in chat history. It was like flipping through a scrapbook, only one that constantly reminded me how much of life slips away without notice. I procrastinate like a champion, by the way. If there were an Olympic medal for wasting hours doing absolutely nothing, I'd bring home the gold. You've probably been there too, telling yourself, I'll just check one more thing before bed. And suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you're wondering what happened to your entire night. That's when it happened. Between the clutter of dead channels and forgotten usernames, I found something that didn't belong. A link. Not a new one either. An old invite sitting at the bottom of a chat I swear I hadn't opened in years. And it was still active. I stared at the invite like it was a trap. Maybe it was nostalgia, maybe boredom, or maybe just that late-night recklessness that convinces you nothing bad can happen through a screen. The link had no context, no message attached, just floating there in the void of an old DM thread like bait on a hook. I told myself I wouldn't click it. I even closed the chat window. Twice. But the more I tried to ignore it, the heavier it felt, tugging at my curiosity. You already know how this goes. I clicked join. The screen flashed and I was in. The server didn't look alive though. It looked abandoned. The channels were dusty archives, general chat filled with ancient memes that had died a decade ago. Bot commands frozen mid-log like a system crash. Voice channels with names that didn't make sense anymore. It felt like stumbling into a forgotten basement of the internet, untouched since its last user walked out. But there were details that didn't sit right. The server's name wasn't words, just a jumble of symbols and characters, the kind of thing you'd see when a file gets corrupted. Profile pictures hovered beside usernames I couldn't quite read, like they were blurred out or in constant motion. A few even looked familiar, though I couldn't place why. I hovered over the sidebar, scanning the silence. Nothing moved. No typing indicators, no green lights, just static emptiness. And then something shifted. One of the channels lit up, a fresh message sliding into place, time-stamped with the current time. Someone was here. The message appeared so casually, like it had just been waiting for me. Unknown user. "Hey, you made it back." I froze. Back? I hadn't been here before. Or had I? I scrolled up, but the channel history was empty. The only text was that single line, glowing at the bottom like a fresh wound. I typed back, fingers hesitant. "Me? Do I know you?" Almost instantly, the reply came. "Unknown user. LOL, same as always, pretending you don't remember." It felt playful, teasing, like banter between friends. And yet the familiarity was too sharp, too confident. I racked my memory, searching for who it could be. No answer. "Me? Seriously, who are you?" The typing dots lingered longer this time, pulsing like a heartbeat. Then, "Unknown user. I know you moved rooms. Your bed's by the window now, right?" I went cold. My eyes darted to the window beside me, curtains drawn tight against the night. I hadn't posted about that. I hadn't told anyone. I shouldn't be showing you this. Really, I should have closed my laptop right then, cut the power, walked away. But I kept staring, waiting, hooked on the wrongness of it. And that's when I realized they knew things no one should. The chat lit up with new names, handles I didn't recognize, avatars flickering like corrupted images. Suddenly, the server wasn't empty. Ashes in code. "Finally, he's here." Echo 7. "Been waiting a long time." Null smile. The emojis didn't render properly. They looked stretched, smeared, like faces warped in static. I typed, hands shaking. "Me. What is this? Who are you people?" Responses flooded in. Ashes in code. "Don't play dumb, we've seen everything." Echo 7. "Remember the notebook you burned? The one with the drawings?" Null smile. "It's still here." My throat closed up. That notebook was from when I was 13. Nobody knew about it. I'd thrown it into a fire pit behind my parents' house. I slammed my laptop shut, heart hammering, only to feel stupid seconds later. The screen's glow still bled through the cracks like it hadn't really closed. Against every instinct, I opened it again. Another message awaited. Ashes in code. "Don't bother hiding." Echo 7. "You're not alone." The typing bubbles multiplied like dozens of unseen users waiting to speak. One by one, they began to type fragments. My old addresses, the schools I'd attended, private conversations I'd forgotten. And then, Null smile. Nice blue hoodie. I was wearing it, right then, alone in my room. The safe glow of my monitor suddenly felt like an open window, like something was peering in through the other side. I tried to leave. Right-click the server icon. Hit Leave Server. The button grayed out, unresponsive. Again and again I clicked. Nothing. A final message blinked into existence. "System, you can't leave. Not yet." A new channel appeared before my eyes, sliding into the list like it had always been there. Its name was jagged, symbols breaking in and out of legibility, but the words beneath them were unmistakable. Join or die. I stared at it, pulse throbbing in my ears. It wasn't possible. Voice channels don't just appear. And yet the little green circle pulsed beside it, as if someone was already inside waiting. I hovered. My mouse shook. And then, against every ounce of reason, I clicked. The moment I entered, my headphones flooded with a noise I can only describe as alive. It wasn't speech, not exactly. It was a chorus of voices overlapping, whispering in a language I shouldn't have understood but somehow did. They spoke in unison, like a rule book recited at the gates of hell. One joins, all join, one leaves, none leave. The sound wrapped around me, not through the speakers, but inside my skull, vibrating through my teeth. I swear I felt the walls of my room lean in closer. Discord wasn't a chat room anymore. It was a ritual chamber, and I was the sacrifice. Listen carefully. If you ever see a channel with that name, don't search it, don't click it. If you try, you won't like what you find. The noise grew unbearable. My vision tunneled, colors bleeding across the screen. And then, nothing, just a blackout. When I came to, the room was silent except for the soft hum of my computer. My monitor glowed faintly, Discord minimized, but a new folder sat on my desktop. I don't remember creating it. Its name was just a line of dashes and symbols impossible to read. Against every instinct, I opened it. Inside were files, dozens of them. Screenshots of me at my desk taken from angles that didn't exist. One showed me yawning, another typing, another staring directly into the camera I swore was covered with tape. Worse were the audio files. I clicked one and my own voice crackled through the speakers. Not my voice now, but recordings of me talking in my sleep. I don't remember the words, but I know they weren't in English. There were subfolders too, names of people I didn't recognize. Each held more screenshots, more audio, more evidence. Like I wasn't the only one dragged into this. Like there was an entire catalog of victims, each stalked and stored away by something using Discord as its hunting ground. I can't show you all of it. Some things once seen won't leave your head. And that's when I thought it was over. But then the server spoke again. The chat flared one last time. The typing indicator pulsed like a heartbeat, faster, insistent. My fingers hovered, paralyzed, but I couldn't look away. Ashes in code. You'll tell them about us, that's the deal. Every hair on my arm stood on end. I wanted to shut the laptop, smash it even, but a part of me obeyed. I had to confess, had to let someone know, anyone, that this was real. Echo 7. Soon others will see, they'll be curious. I felt it, the audience. You, whoever's watching this video, are now part of it. Watching me type, reading my story. Maybe you've already felt it. A ping in the back of your mind. A strange link you weren't meant to click. I tried to leave, but the server doesn't let you go willingly. I'm terrified, yet compelled, bound to this confession. And even now I can feel it whispering. Your turn may be closer than you think. The server is gone now. I checked every folder, every cache. Nothing. And yet I can't shake the feeling it's still out there waiting. They might return at exactly 3:33 a.m., blinking onto a screen that thinks it's safe. If you get that invite, don't click it, or maybe you already did. If you've ever stumbled across a dead server that shouldn't exist, drop it below. Share your story. I need to know I'm not alone in this. And just as I finish typing this, someone is typing.